Laziness isn't just about sitting on a couch and doing nothing. It's deeper than that. It's more subtle, more destructive. Laziness is when you know what you're supposed to do and still find 100 ways to avoid it. It's having the strength but choosing not to apply it. It's knowing the assignment and delaying it. It's waking up with breath in your lungs, purpose in your heart, and choosing to let the day pass like it means nothing. That kind of living doesn't just slow you down, it steals your future. It drains your potential drop by drop until one day you wake up and realize the life you wanted has expired. People think laziness is harmless. They think it's just a feeling, just a season, just something they'll grow out of. But laziness is a killer, a slow one. It doesn't crash through your door. It seeps in like a leak. And before you know it, the whole foundation of your life is soaked in excuses. It doesn't scream at you. It whispers. It tells you you've got time. You'll start tomorrow. You deserve to rest. And while you're believing that, opportunity is slipping right out of your hands. There's nothing worse than wasted potential, and nothing wastes potential faster than a lazy spirit. The world will not wait for you to get ready. It's not going to pause until you feel motivated. Opportunity doesn't knock twice for people who sleep through the first knock. You don't get to be great by accident. You don't stumble into success. You don't coast your way into purpose. You work, you grind, you hustle when it's hard, you rise when it's inconvenient. You press forward when everyone else is falling back. That's what separates the average from the exceptional. Not talent, not luck, not connections, discipline. Laziness loves to attach itself to people with talent. It disguises itself in people who have potential but no urgency. You can be the most gifted person in the room and still lose to the one who just outworks you, because hard work will beat talent when talent doesn't work. There are people out there with less skill, less education, less experience, yet they're winning. Why? Because they show up every day, they do the boring work, they don't need applause, they don't need permission, they don't need perfect conditions, they just move, they execute, and execution will always outshine intention. You say you want success, then you have to be willing to kill the part of you that's lazy, the part of you that's content with good enough, the part that always has a reason not to act. You know that part. It shows up when your alarm rings and you roll over instead of rising. It shows up when you should study, but your phone grabs your attention. It shows up when you should train, but your body says, "Let's just rest today." That voice is not your friend. It's your enemy. It's the enemy of progress, the enemy of excellence, the enemy of purpose. People think the devil shows up in red horns and fire, but most of the time he just shows up as laziness, as distraction, as comfort, as apathy. He doesn't need to destroy you if he can just distract you. If he can just keep you busy doing nothing, then he's already won, and you don't even realize it. You're too busy scrolling. Too busy sleeping, too busy saying someday, while your opportunities are saying now. Discipline is the sword you need to slay laziness. It's the muscle you have to train daily, not once a week, not when you feel like it. Every single day, you train your mind to obey, not delay. You train your body to act, not react. You train your spirit to hunger for purpose more than comfort, because greatness is built in the hours no one sees. It's built in the sweat that no one claps for. It's built in the silence, in the dark, in the grind, and laziness wants no part of that. You don't pray your way out of laziness. You work your way out of it. You show up even when the feeling's not there. You drag yourself out of bed, lace up your shoes, open the book, hit the reps, make the calls, write the plan, because laziness is loud when you're idle, but powerless when you're in motion. The moment you start moving, it starts dying. It loses its grip when your feet hit the floor with a mission, when your hands get to work with discipline, when your mind locks in on your goals like nothing else matters. Too many people want to feel motivated before they act. But motivation is a liar. It's fickle. It comes and goes like the wind. If you build your life on motivation, you'll be unstable. You need something stronger. You need commitment. You need clarity. You need to know why you're doing what you're doing. You need to burn the bridge back to the lazy version of you. No return, no retreat, no compromise. Because if you give laziness 1 inch, it'll take a mile. It'll sneak back into your routine, back into your thinking, back into your habits. And don't get it twisted. Laziness isn't just about doing nothing. You can be busy and still be lazy, busy avoiding the hard stuff. Busy staying comfortable, busy running in circles but never making progress. True discipline isn't about just being active. It's about being effective. It's about doing what needs to be done even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when nobody's watching. Laziness avoids responsibility. Discipline embraces it. Laziness looks for shortcuts. Discipline builds the road. Laziness talks. Discipline moves. There's something you've been putting off. You know what it is. That project, that conversation, that decision, that first step, and every day you delay, the mountain gets higher, the fear gets louder, the voice of laziness gets stronger. But here's the truth. There will never be a perfect time. Never be a moment where everything aligns just right. So you have to move anyway. Move with fear, move with doubt, move with uncertainty, but move because movement creates momentum, and momentum destroys laziness. You've got to get angry, not at the world, at the version of you that keeps settling. You've got to look that part of you in the mirror and say, you don't run this anymore. You've got to make war with your comfort zone. Declare it a battlefield because that's what it is. It looks safe, but it's deadly. It looks calm, but it's killing your edge, killing your focus, killing your drive. And if you don't break out of it, it'll bury your destiny alive. What if the very thing you've been praying for is waiting on the other side of your discipline? What if God already said yes, but He's waiting for you to get serious? You want the blessing, but can you handle the burden? Can you carry the weight that comes with it? Because if you can't slay your laziness now, you won't survive the pressure of the next level. The higher you go, the heavier the load, the more responsibility, the more resistance. And you can't take a lazy mindset into a big calling. It won't fit. You say you want to be different, then act different, move different, think different, wake up with fire, wake up with intention, stop letting days pass like they mean nothing. Every day you wake up, you've been given another shot at obedience, another shot at discipline, another shot at becoming the person you were created to be. Don't waste it, because there's someone out there praying for the chance you're sleeping on. Kill your laziness, not tomorrow, not next week, today, right now, in this moment. Make a decision that the lazy version of you doesn't survive another hour. Start with something small if you have to. But start. Win the morning, win the hour, win the next task. Stack those wins until your discipline is louder than your excuses. Until your actions speak so loud that laziness can't even get a word in. This is not about perfection. It's about progress, about moving when it's hard, about building a life you're proud of, one disciplined moment at a time. That's the real battle, not against the world. Against yourself and the lazy you has had enough victories. It's time the disciplined you stood up and took control, because the world needs the version of you that shows up, the version that finishes. The version that executes, the version that refuses to let laziness steal another dream. Laziness is not just about inactivity. It's a disease of the soul. It doesn't just affect your schedule, it infects your identity. It makes you forget who you are and what you're called to be. It convinces you that average is acceptable and that excellence is overrated. It makes you comfortable in delay and casual with greatness. And that's the real danger. Not that you won't do something with your life, but that you'll get used to doing nothing and calling it peace, that you'll mistake procrastination for patience, that you'll trade discipline for temporary comfort and justify it with weak reasoning. But the truth is, deep down, you know that you're called to more. You know it every time you ignore that voice inside you telling you to rise. You know it every time you distract yourself with nonsense. You feel it every single day, the quiet frustration, the restless boredom. That's not burnout. That's your purpose trying to wake you up from the coma of laziness. You weren't made to live like this. You weren't created to survive day to day, barely doing enough to get by. You were designed for impact, built for meaning, constructed for dominion, but laziness strips you of all that. It robs you of your power. And the worst part is, it doesn't even have to fight hard to win. It just needs your permission, just a little compromise, just one excuse, just one more snooze button, just one more day of I'll do it later. But every time you delay, you dig your dream's grave a little deeper. Nobody becomes successful on accident. Nobody wakes up with an empire, a legacy, a vision fulfilled without discipline being their constant companion. You don't become excellent by talking about it. You become excellent by being relentless, by doing what others won't do when they're tired, by showing up when it's not convenient, by pushing past your own weakness, past your own laziness, past your own comfort. That's the cost. That's the price of admission to the next level, and most people are unwilling to pay it. They'd rather be liked than respected. Rather be cozy than called, rather be entertained than educated. And that's why they stay stuck. That's why they never evolve. They don't have a laziness problem. They have a priority problem. If your vision doesn't scare your laziness, it's not big enough. If your dream doesn't make your excuses uncomfortable, you're not dreaming at your real level. You were not given breath and ability and opportunity to waste it scrolling through other people's lives, wishing yours was different. If you want different, you have to be different. You have to move different. And that starts by killing the thing in you that wants to stay the same, that wants to stay comfortable, that wants to stay hidden, because laziness is always trying to protect you from responsibility. It's trying to convince you that effort is dangerous, that challenge is unnecessary, that comfort is the goal. But comfort is the enemy of calling. Nobody grows in comfort. Nobody rises in comfort. Nobody becomes what they were meant to be by playing it safe and sitting it out. You have to stop waiting for someone to save you from your laziness. No one's coming. No one's going to knock on your door and hand you discipline. That's your fight. That's your cross to bear. That's your mirror to face. And until you take full responsibility for your inaction, you'll stay trapped in the same cycle of wasted days, broken promises, and stagnant living. You don't need more time. You need more urgency. You don't need more inspiration. You need more execution. You don't need a new plan. You need to follow through on the one you've already ignored. The difference between who you are and who you want to be is hidden in the moments you've been throwing away. Every excuse you've made, every hour you've wasted, every opportunity you've ignored, every habit you've delayed, that's the distance. And until you start closing that gap with real work, with real consistency, with real sacrifice, that version of you will stay a fantasy. There is no magic formula. There is only work, only war against the part of you that wants to chill when you should be building, that wants to escape when you should be engaging, that wants to settle when you should be soaring. It's time to act like your life depends on it, because it does. Your future is not waiting on someone else. It's waiting on you to wake up, suit up, and show up with everything you've got. And I mean everything. No half-hearted commitment, no backup plans, no more delay. You want transformation, you want change, then burn your excuses and go to war. Wake up every day like you're behind, like you're hungry, like your destiny is on the line. Because it is, and the truth is, you don't have time to be lazy. You don't have the luxury to procrastinate. There's too much at stake. Your family is watching. Your children are learning. Your community is depending on the version of you that shows up with fire, with focus, with discipline. Laziness is not just about you. It impacts everything connected to you. It poisons relationships. It weakens leadership. It delays breakthrough. It makes you unreliable, and eventually people stop depending on you. Opportunities stop looking for you. Doors stop opening, and it's not because the world is unfair, it's because you didn't show up. And when you don't show up consistently and fully, people notice, and life responds accordingly. You might be tired. You might be overwhelmed, but you're not finished. You've still got more in you. You've still got more ground to take. You've still got more to give. And the moment you stop letting your feelings lead and let your discipline drive, that's the moment things begin to change. You don't need to feel ready. You need to decide, because nothing moves until you do, and no one can make that move for you. It's got to come from the inside, from a place of hunger, from a place of resolve, from a place of knowing that this is your season to conquer the part of you that's been holding you back for too long. Laziness doesn't die in a day, it dies daily, with every disciplined action, with every early morning. With every set completed, with every page read, with every distraction ignored, with every no. You say to comfort, that's how you kill it. One choice at a time, one step at a time, 1 hour at a time. And the more you kill it, the more you build something stronger in its place, momentum, discipline, clarity, strength, power. You become unstoppable not because you're perfect, but because you refuse to quit. Because you refuse to sit. Because you refuse to waste another second. You were made to lead, to build, to fight, to rise. But you can't do any of that while sleeping through your destiny. You have to wake up. Shake yourself loose from your excuses. Break free from the chains of comfort, and remember that greatness is still on the table, but it won't wait forever. It won't beg. It won't plead. It won't slow down to match your pace. You either rise to meet it, or watch it pass by. And the ones who rise, they don't do it because it's easy. They do it because they've had enough. They've looked their laziness in the face and said, no more. They've chosen to let pain refine them, to let the hard days shape them, to let the process make them. That's what this is, a process, and it starts today, not tomorrow, not when the motivation hits, not when you feel better, right now, in this moment. With the decision to be done with lazy thinking, lazy habits, lazy talking, because every time you choose discipline, you get stronger. Every time you choose structure, you build muscle. Every time you act, even when you don't feel like it, you're rewiring your identity. You're no longer just someone with a dream. You're someone with a standard, and that standard leaves no room for laziness to live. The truth is, the gap between who you are and who you could be is filled with work. That's it, just work, not wishes, not waiting, not wondering, work, so do it, rise early, stay late, practice when it's boring, show up when you don't want to, master the basics, fight for your focus. Keep your promises, crush your comfort, because in the end, laziness will never give you what discipline can. Never, not even close. You don't need anyone to believe in you more than you believe in yourself. You don't need a cheerleader. You need a reason, and your reason has to be stronger than your excuses. Your why has to overpower your weakness. You've got to want it more than you want rest, more than you want validation. More than you want comfort, because this fight, this daily fight against laziness, is the price you pay for the life you want, and it's worth every drop of sweat, every tear, every lonely moment of effort that no one else sees. Because when the results show up, When the fruit finally grows, when the vision finally manifests, it won't be by accident. It will be because you killed laziness before it killed your purpose. So now the question isn't can you do it? It's will you? Will you show up for your life? Will you get tired of settling? Will you finally silence the voice that keeps telling you to wait, to rest, to coast? Will you stop playing defense and start attacking your potential with everything you've got? Because laziness is a liar. It promises peace but delivers regret. It whispers safety but steals your future. It comforts you into complacency while your destiny burns right in front of you. But you are not weak. You are not average. You are not born to blend in. You are born to stand up and stand out. And the moment you make a decision, an unshakable, non-negotiable do-or-die decision, that laziness dies here. Now with you, everything changes. Your habits change, your attitude changes, your future shifts, because discipline doesn't just shape your actions. It transforms your identity, and once you know who you really are, laziness can't hold you anymore. So don't leave this moment unchanged. Don't let this just be another speech you listen to and forget. Let this be your line in the sand, your turning point, your personal declaration of war. From this day forward, no more excuses. No more wasted time. No more playing small. Kill your laziness, or it will kill your greatness. Choose now and never look back.